Alright, Shalom Makyam. Make sure to check my volume. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. And according to the Holy Scriptures, we're God's chosen people. Shalom to all the brothers out there pushing his knowledge and sincerity and truth. Shalom to the few sisters, and shalom to the Israelite foreigners who are scattered abroad, who are scattered throughout the United States, looking like the other nations. What you're looking at is a true depiction of the one you're going to be called Jesus Christ, whose real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. The Heavenly Father name is Yahweh, the one you're going to be called God or Jehovah, and they are so-called black men according to the Holy Scriptures. Alright, coming back at you with another lesson. So, further expound who the 12 tribes are. That's out of this book, Hebrewism of West Africa, which one of the beloved brothers in the camp bought me this book, the Wadi Yahba Shim Yahweh Shai. And it just so happened the brother who bought me this book is from the tribe of Issachar, and this information is about the tribe of Issachar, who are the so-called Mexicans today. The so-called Latinos and Native Americans and Seminole Indians make up of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, who are God's chosen people. Okay, so this is out of page 135. Different missionaries that came over here in Mexico. It says from some time, missionaries in America, especially those in Mexico, had been sending home reports of religious customs and belief that savored much of Shemitic origin, because we're from the lineage of Shem. Noah, 3 sons. We're the so-called, the Israelites are from the lineage of Shem. We're Shemitic. Okay, so these people are here talking about we anti-Shemitic. No, we're Shemitic. We're just speaking the truth. The true lineage of Shem, the chosen lineage of Shem are the Israelites. Thus, the Jesuit Acosta reported that the Indians had an infinity number of ceremonies and usage which reminded one of the ancient law of Moses. So you go into the laws of Moses. Who was that given to? The Israelites. So it says Mexican mythology, which is not a myth, it's the truth, which it all links up with the Bible. It says, but it was reserved for Viscount Kingsborough, who gathered all these testimonies into a single volume to become the real propounder of the theory that will trace to a Shemitic source. Those Indians dealing with the tribe of Issachar, the Mexicans, customs and traditions. Thus he writes, it is impossible on reading what Mexican mythology records of the war in heaven. I was dealing with what, man? I'm at work. I gotta pull up real quick. The war in heaven is dealing with Esau versus Yahweh Shai, Michael, and the archangel, man. And where did they get that information from? It's written in the scriptures. And that war in heaven is just dealing with when our Lord comes back with those spaceships to destroy America and to beam up the elect. That's the real war in heaven. It's not dealing with angelic beings, Satan being cast out. That's a church myth. All right. Okay, plain and simple, man. So let me get back. So war in heaven and of the fall of the Zotummoke and the other rebellious spirits, which that goes off. Really, what they trying to say is, that Satan got cast out, but the fall of this person, Zotummoke, is dealing with Esau and his rebellious spirits. Really, when you get the true understanding of this, in the creation of the light by the word of Tuno Kati Kutli. So when I looked that up, I brought the book with me. I'm at work in the work truck. Bear with me 1 second. Trying to serve the Lord, man, and get this information out to our people, man. Do the best you can. When I looked that word up, it's dealing with the Most High, the Creator, which everything was created through His Son, right? And of the divisions of the waters of the sin of Yats Tal La Ku Hu Yi K When you go into that word there, I didn't look that word up. Salakia. That's dealing with Adam, the sin of Yatzlaku UK, and his blindness and nakedness of the temptation. Yeah, the first one, the Yatzlaku UK is dealing with Adam, and it's the temptation of Suke Kekal. When I looked that up, it's dealing with it said the Mexican Eve. It's actually dealing with Eve, man. So the stories are similar. In her disobedience in gathering roses from a tree, which when you get into the true understanding, she came with Adam with the different philosophies of the nations, man. And of the consequent misery and disgrace of herself, see that? Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Well, Eve was a so-called black woman. And all her posterity, not to recognize scriptural analogies, but the Mexican tradition of the deluge, which the deluge is the flood. It's that which bear unequivocal marks of having been derived from a Hebrew source. The Viscount then develops the Mexican idea of the deluge, which is the flood, and its subsequent events, such as the Tower of Babel and the dispersion of the nations, in parallel with the Bible story. So why would they have this information? Because they're one of the tribes of Israel. So the defenders of it, they got this disputers, whatever, saying due time, Brusier de Barbaro, I got to move up again, bear with me 1 second, currently at the ports, whatever, became an ardent defender of King Burroughs, among others, too. Hubert Howe Bancroft describes in detail what it regards as authentic Hebrew relics found in what is now the United States. Can't get around it. And John T. Sharps established, at least to his own satisfaction, numerous analogies between Jewish, which we're not Jewish, the real Jews, and Mexican codes and customs that are certainly striking. Game over, man. So this defender was defending the fact that these people are the chosen people, man. I misunderstood that. So I'm gonna get down to the point because I'm pressed for time. It says other souvenirs of Jewish history and rites of the Mosaic laws seem to have been real and to have actually existed among a few of Americans' aboriginals, meaning the original people of the land. It's dealing with the Seminole Indians, which are the tribe of Reuben, Native Americans, Indians of the tribe of Gad, and the so-called Mexicans as well. Because California was once Mexico, Arizona, different parts of this place, man. America's aboriginal nations, thus are the Yucatecs, that links up with the tribe of Issachar, said have to have a tradition according to which they originally came from the Far East, which linked that up, passing through the sea which the Most High had made dry for them. I was dealing with when we left Egypt. And again, we may close this chapter with the remark that the Mexicans celebrate the Jewish feast of the New Year, which is the Passover, and their festivities of the remission of sins and the use of sacred unctions as the Jews. Plain and simple, man. Salakia. So I'm going to get into some scriptures. You know what I'm saying? And Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson unto the very elect of Yashar Allah, man. So I'm going to start off with the curses, man. Because you'd be like, oh, how the hell we end up over here? Well, the Lord curses as a nation, saying the last days we're going to be separated as a nation and going to go into captivity. So Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. It says, And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods. Isn't the so-called Mexicans into a lot of idolatry, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone? Okay, that's plain, man. That is plain, but it's only for the elect. Ezekiel 22:15, it says, and I will scatter thee among the heathen, because the northern kingdom got taken down by the Assyrian Empire, and they were taken into their land over there in Iraq today, that region, and disperse thee in the countries. So eventually what? The northern kingdom, so-called Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, came over here on ships. Took them a year and a half. And I will consume thy filthiness out of thee. So right now the Most High is raising up the elect, man. So the Most High is taking that filthiness off of us. And thou shalt take thy inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen, our enemies, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Man, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's a heavy precept right there, man. That's dope. So get into the prophecy real quick. 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. This is the famous prophecy. Those of the 10 tribes were carried away prisoners out of their own land, Jerusalem, in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive. So they took us, the kingdom, out of their land, to their land, which is like Iraq and that region over there. Led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, different rivers. That was in that area. So they came into another land. So another land is not dealing with America. It's dealing with took us out of Israel into their region. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen. Remember, we got scattered among the heathen, and go forth into a further country, which is over here, North America, South America, Central America, where never mankind dwelt. All right, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, and they enter into the Euphrates by the narrow place of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and hell stilled the flood till they were passed over. So the Most High calmed the waters. Was to come up out of the Middle East, go down through the Horn of Africa, all the way over here. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, oh man, tripping, slack you. That they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, and they enter into the Euphrates by the narrow place of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood there were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, which is a year and a half, namely a year and a half. The same region is called Arsaret. It's dealing with America, man. So that's the prophecy. So you can't get around that. So it's only for your elect, man. We don't care about nobody else, man. So I'm gonna close it out with a few scriptures. I'm pressed for time here at work, man. You gotta serve the Lord, man. The body Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for giving this inspiration to do this show. Jeremiah 23:8, and it says, But Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai liveth, which brought up and which lead the seed of the house of Israel, which is northern kingdom, out of the north country. So this is what about to happen. Then the whole nation as well, and from all countries, whether I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. See that? This is the United States of America, Central America, and South America country. See that? So moving on, close it out. So we about to get up out of here, man. The information is out. So these false prophets doing their thing, and the real prophets are continuing to seal up the elect. It says, verse 7, Jeremiah 31, verse 7. For thus say Yahweh, sing with gladness for Jacob, shout among the chief of the nations, publish he, praise he, and say, O Yahweh, save thy people, the remnant of Israel, because only the elect is going to get saved, man. The 144,000, the 1/3. The 144,000 are all men who are the rulers and judges, and the 1/3 consists of women, children, friends of the prophets, so on and so forth, Israelite foreigners. Behold, I will bring them from the north country. There it is. North America, man. And gather them from the coast of the earth. The west coast, the east coast, you know, all over, man. And with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child, together a great company shall return thither, man. Man, all praise y'all by Shem Yahushai, man. You know, we about to get up out of here. We in the time, you know, the Esau gonna come with his shenanigans, but we all prepared. Lord willing, the Most High give us the courage to endure whatever he brings upon us, man. Because, man, we got the victory, brothers. Kwam Yashra'Allah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Shalom.